Can you imagine sitting way up here? It's got to be hot and it's got to be uncomfortable.
Former state senator Margaret Carter.
That was the distinction that was made in our society at that time.
Shares a powerful piece of Oregon's racist history with the 10-year-old she's mentoring.
It looks so comfortable.
Doesn't it look uncomfortable?
Of course it looks uncomfortable.
She describes for Algene Reed the only place African Americans were allowed to sit at Portland's Mayfair Theater in the early 1950s.
We were referred to as colored people. So there was a door for colored people to go through and there was a door for white people to go through.
The bench on a balcony farthest from the movie screen and its story are preserved at the Oregon Historical Society. They provide a teaching moment for this former teacher about Portland's history of segregation to a future leader.
Yeah, and that's why people like you have to come along having a great interest in making all human beings feel worthy.
We have their entire collection of photos.
On their tour of the Oregon Historical Society,
1985, the first legislative session.
Carter impresses on young Algene the importance of serving people.
Yes!
Margaret Carter has made that her North Star as she took her seat closest to the action at a table with some of the most powerful political leaders in the state and country. She's pictured here with Shirley Chisholm, the first African-American woman in Congress.
She was running for president.
Carter would make her own long list of firsts.
Yeah.
And become one of Oregon's most influential and beloved leaders.
You go down the list, and it's just amazing what she has accomplished. And more than being the first, I think Margaret was also one of the best.
Her list of firsts began in 1984 when she became the first black woman elected to Oregon's legislature.
I felt real good about it because it was history not only for my state, but for my family. Because no one ever, as we checked back historically, and we can check back 4 generations in our family, 3 generations in our family, and nobody ever been in politics. No one.
The journey was a hard one. She came to Oregon from Shreveport, Louisiana in 1967, just before her 32nd birthday, with her 5 children escaping what had become a violent, abusive relationship. She arrived in the Rose City with just $100.
And I never looked back. I've never looked back. As a matter of fact, I see it to my kids today, burying my boots in Oregon. You know, this is my place, the place that I love.
And she's made that place a better one, getting her teaching degree from Portland State and a master's at Oregon State University. Then working for 27 years as a counselor and faculty member at Portland Community College. And bravely saying yes when a bipartisan group asked her to run for the legislature.
What did you think when they first proposed this?
I thought, they must be dreaming. They got to be crazy. I never thought about politics.
She was a dedicated and relentless campaigner.
I bet in my first year, I personally knocked on about 10,000 doors.
But the campaign trail would at times bring her to tears.
It was hard. Being the first black woman was hard. I got death threats, and I promised myself that my daughter and no other woman would have to go through what I went through to be in the legislature in that district.
Margaret Carter paved the way for women to follow, serving for 14 years in the House and 12 in the Senate, where in 2005, she became the first black woman selected as Senate President pro tem in any legislature west of the Mississippi, and the first black woman to co-chair the powerful Ways and Means Budget Writing Committee. And always, her focus was on her constituents who elected her.
I loved being in the legislature, I have to tell you that. I love that because I think policy, setting policy for all Oregonians is one of the most important things to have happen in the lives of citizens.
Carter focused on improving education and economic opportunity, developing skill centers for black and brown students. The Skills Center at PCC bears her name. She passed a bill declaring Martin Luther King Jr. Day an official holiday, and another bill divesting state holdings in apartheid-governed South Africa. She was chosen as the chair of the Oregon Democratic Party in 1996, the first African-American woman in that role in the state. She would help save the Urban League of Portland when it was in financial distress, taking over as its CEO in 1999. And she did all that while raising 9 children.
Do you have a clone? That's amazing.
Well, you know, Laura, when you're on a mission and when you have purpose, you don't think about how hard the journey is. You think about what can I accomplish on this journey.
Please welcome to the stage this year's Nathan. In 2008, this reporter had the privilege of presenting Margaret Carter with the Heart of the Community Award for her volunteerism, sponsored by Hands on Greater Portland and the Trailblazers. A daughter of a Baptist minister and a gospel singer herself, Margaret wowed the audience with her amazing singing voice.
Shall not be in vain. Thank you, Trailblazers.
As much as Margaret Louise Carter has accomplished, she feels there is still a long way to go for Black women to get their rightful seats at the table of politics.
So Black women have come a long way, but that's still a long ways to go, because there's the subtleness of racism in our state, as much as people don't want to believe that. But the subtleness of racism in this state is still large and flourishing. And that's a sad commentary to me.
Al Janae, a 5th grader at King Elementary, sees the path her mentor has blazed.
I think that she worked really hard to get to that place, and that she is just a great role model for everybody else like me.
As you grow...
At 86, Carter is helping lead a new generation to blaze their own trails.
And having these young people ready to serve, an army of them ready to serve, and to be able to move this country forward, I want to be a part of that brigade. I want to be a part of that.
And today, in addition to mentoring youth, she serves on 3 different boards.
Well, it sounds like Margaret Carter is not done yet.
Not done. Absolutely not. I tell all of my friends, when death come along, they're going to have to catch me.
She is a force of nature.
Carrie Timchuk, the executive director of the Oregon Historical Society, believes Margaret Carter embodies a quote from one of Oregon's most revered governors, Tom McCall,
who once said that heroes are not giant statues framed against a red sky. They are individuals who say, this is my community and it's my responsibility to make it better. By that standard, by any standard, Margaret Carter is a hero, because she has devoted so much of her life since she got off that train in 1967 from Louisiana to making Portland better and to making Oregon better.
I want to be seen as that person who cared about all Oregonians. That's important to me.